Good afternoon. We're here to welcome the governor of our great state to Dallas City Hall. Thank you so much, Governor Abbott, for coming. Governor Abbott called me last night. He was out of the state at the time, told me he wanted to come and deliver his goods in person. And they have offered some much-needed help in this effort. At the same time, I offered him a flag of the the city of Dallas, and he'll take that back, and Austin is going to fly that in honor of this. Before we do that, though, I wanted to deliver a little bit of news that I think is relevant and everybody wants to hear. As many of you know, the police released the confirmation that the deceased suspect was identified as Micah Johnson, black male, 25 years old. We have been working this case throughout the night and throughout the day, and we believe, given the facts that we have today, that Mr. Johnson, now deceased, was the lone shooter in this incident. And by piecing together what was happening at the time, after we talked to and interviewed all the officers, there was confusion with everybody running around, but this was a mobile shooter that had written manifestos on how to shoot and move, and he did that. He did his damage, but we did our damage to him as well. And we believe now that the city is safe and the suspect is dead, and we can move on to healing. Part of that healing is to get the support of our great state. I've had mayors from all over the state call me, and the Lieutenant Governor was here today, the Attorney General, and now the Governor of the state of Texas. Thank you, Governor Abbott, for being here.
Absolutely. Well, Mayor, thank you. I want to thank you for the leadership that you always show, but also especially the leadership that you provided over the past 24 hours. You've been a voice of calm, of reason, of the type of leadership that Dallas and Texas needs at this time. Before coming out here, I had the opportunity to meet not only with the mayor, but also with Chief Brown, who is going back to work and is not out here with us right now. But I also want to express my gratitude to Police Chief Brown for his unrelenting resolve in focusing on and resolving this issue as swiftly as possible. I also want to express the gratitude of the state of Texas for all the first responders who responded so quickly, so effectively to the urgencies of last night. And I want to express my gratitude to the White House that reached out to contact me because of the President's trip. We were unable to make an official connection, but he did want to express his sorrow and grief for the people and law enforcement in Dallas, but also any assistance that he could provide. Similarly, I want to thank my fellow governors. Mayor, like you, I've had governors from across the entire country contact me about ways in which they can help in expressing their sorrow for Dallas's loss. At the same time, I want to express my gratitude for the men and women who are behind me right now. What you're seeing right now is an aggregation of public servants who are coming together in support of the proposition that we stand united behind the people of the city, the people of the state, and the law enforcement officials here. I do want to recognize from the state side, right behind me is Attorney General Kim Paxton. We have Senators Royce West, Don Huffines, Bob Hall, and Kelly Hancock, Representatives Ken Sheets, Angie Button, Linda Coop, Helen Giddings, Cindy Burkett, Matt Rinaldi, and Rodney Anderson, and I apologize if I missed you, That's the list I have. But regardless of who is or who is not on the list, it's essential to understand the way that the state of Texas stands united with the city of Dallas. Already the state of Texas has provided Texas Department of Public Safety officers, Texas Rangers, forensic specialists to aid in the efforts of responding to this challenge. We need to understand also there will be ongoing challenges. As a result, my office is extending aid and support to the Dallas Police Department for counseling for their officers for issues and challenges that they will be facing for some time. Now, to respond what has happened in the past 24 hours. The past 24 hours in Dallas has been a veritable tale of two cities. On the one hand, it's been the tale of heroism of police officers. At the same time, it's been a tale of cowardice by an assassin. We are so proud, even in our mourning today, of the men and women who wear the uniform of the Dallas Police Department, as well as the Dallas Area Rapid Transit, for their heroism in the face of remarkable danger, running toward danger to aid those who need it the most, fulfilling their oath to serve and protect and do everything they can to help the citizens of this city. For every man and woman of the Dallas Police Department, as well as any law enforcement officer in the state of Texas, I want you to know you have the respect of a grateful state, and you have a governor who has your back. As it concerns the cowardice, it seems as though the sole suspect now has received his justice. And what will be important is to ensure that there are no other potential co-conspirators with this particular assailant. If there is, they will be sought, they will be found, and they will receive the justice they deserve. Most importantly, today, on this day, and in the coming days, the primary message is one word, and that is unity. We need to understand that Texas has its own brand of principles that have helped elevate this state to true exceptionalism. Texans need to unite behind those very principles that will continue to elevate Dallas and the state of Texas. One of those principles is respect and reverence for the men and women who wear the uniform. Another is that we, the citizens of this state, need to play our own active role in ensuring safety and security in our communities, as well as justice and prosperity across the state. When we unite together behind those principles, we will ensure the Texas of tomorrow will be even better than the Texas of today. Another point is a true Texas trademark, and that is the word resilience. Texans have faced challenge after challenge after challenge for well over a century, and we've always shown our trademark resilience, which is needed now as much as ever in the city of Dallas as the city and the state in parallel work to respond. We must summon the ability to respond to this challenge in a way that will make Dallas and Texas even stronger. Texas is a tough state, but just like we have overcome so many challenges in the past, we will overcome this challenge with the future being even better than the past. So thank you, Mayor, for the role that you've played. Thanks again to Chief Brown, who could not be with us. Thanks to these men and women who stand behind me, beside me, and with me as we work our way forward. With that, we'll be happy to take a few questions. Julie.
Governor Abbott, explain to us, you're on an out-of-state trip, your emotions when you found out what was happening here in Dallas.
Shock, disbelief, and then urgency to return to Texas to do everything I could. What I did is, as soon as I heard about it, I was on the phone constantly speaking to the mayor, speaking to my staff, assuring that first and foremost, the state of Texas was going to get on the ground in Dallas, Texas, any and all resources that could assist them without interfering with what local law enforcement was doing. I'm proud that Texas Rangers, Texas Department of Public Safety officers, and others are assisting in this process. But after the immediate shock, you immediately go into the process of calculating what can we do to help, how can we help resolve this. The best thing that we can do as a city and state to heal is two things. One, show that we are not harmed, damaged, or altered by the cowardly attack by someone who does not stand for Texas values and principles. We as a people need to move forward and live our everyday lives, knowing that Texas is going to be greater going forward, unaltered, unaffected by this act of cowardice. Second is, like what we are showing right this moment, we need to replicate this on an ongoing basis, showing that we as a state of every people, of every color, of every background, that we unite behind the core principles that make the state of Texas a truly exceptional state. I'll clarify what I said. I'll let the mayor clarify with his more detailed information. He provided detailed information for you that he can elaborate on. I have no information about any co-conspirators. I just, as a former law enforcement official and prosecutor, I want to make sure that we button down every corner before we rule out any possible co-conspirators. In it, if you recall what the mayor said, which he will echo here, I think, in a second, remember this. We know what the mayor said about the gunman. What we don't know is who, if anybody, may have known what the gunman knew, what he was going to do, may have assisted him in any of his efforts. And so it's good news that the gunman has been identified. But I think good law enforcement means that we continue down every rabbit trail until they are exhausted, ensuring that we eliminate any other possible suspects or co-conspirators who may have aided this gunman in any way.
Well said, and anything I would say would be redundant. That's exactly. Yeah. So what was happening real time is there were about 20 individuals in ammo gear, in protective equipment, and rifles slung over their shoulder. When the shooting started at different angles, they started running. We started catching. And that's when we proceeded to start to interview them. As we've started to unravel this fishing knot, we realized that the shooting came from one building at different levels by this suspect. No. No. So the first question is no. Those are separate charges. And the second is that we don't know at this point. And that's why making sure that we understand this co-conspirator, if there are any that can give us those insights, is going to be important.
Well, Governor Abbott, with respect to unity, earlier today, the Lieutenant Governor called the protesters, the peaceful protesters, hypocrites for running from the gunfire. He also blamed previous Black Lives Matter protests for the shootings. How do you respond?
I think we need to focus on a couple of things. First, we need to focus on our gratitude, our respect, and admiration for the role the law enforcement officers played. They played the role that we hope law enforcement officers will play, and that is run toward danger to save lives. We also need to focus on the imperative of unity, that we unite of all citizens in Dallas, all citizens in the state of Texas, understand, very importantly, what the mayor described today about the background of the shooter, understand that this should not be used as a tool of division, but instead we can use what happened here in Dallas for good. You know, what I have found personally is that we're all challenged in different ways, and we may not understand the reason for that challenge, but what we can do, we can find purpose in every single challenge that occurs. I can find purpose in what happened in Dallas, Texas, and one of those purposes is working together for greater unity in Dallas and Texas.
Guys, we have time for one more.
We're going to send that. It was sent out earlier in a press release, and more details will be coming with that press release, I think, in the next half hour. Excuse me? They have not, and that's the research they're doing right now. They have. They have. The same automated robot equipment to detonate and defuse bombs was used to place C4 in place and to detonate that. This was a man that we gave plenty of options to give himself up peacefully, and we spent a lot of time talking. He had a choice to come out and we would not harm him, or stay in and we would. He picked the latter.
Guys, we got to go.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Mayor.
Thank you.